would look good in green, wouldn't he? Playing alongside the Smith brothers. They need some run stoppers over there. And you know what? I don't know if the elections are done yet or not, but if he gets there early tonight, he can run for mayor for Pewaukee, Wisconsin, that little town that he's from. Yeah, right there, I think. And so J.J. Watt, Scott Pioli, to the Packers. What say you?
You know, Mooch, first of all, I'm shocked that you're going with the Green Bay Packers being involved with the trade, right? You, Green Bay Packers, who'd guess it? Anyway, you know, J.J. Watt, I kind of love the idea of this, Mooch, but here are a couple things that have to be overcome. The Packers have $6.8 million of cap space. J.J. Watt is still due $8.2 million over the course of the rest of the season. So they've got to come up with $1.4 million of cap space in order for this trade to happen. But when I look at Houston, I think this is a terrific idea for the Houston Texans because they need draft capital. Remember, they traded Laramie Tunsil, or traded for Laramie Tunsil, and they are missing a first-round pick and a second-round pick in 2021. So I really like the way this sounds, Mooch, if they can come up with a little extra dough. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so you say there's a chance.
All right, there's a chance. Scott, okay, I got one for you. I'm wearing my silver and black today. I know you're going to be shocked as well that I'm going to go try and find a lockdown corner for the Las Vegas Raiders. Earmuffs, Willie. Stephon Gilmore needs to be the Las Vegas Raider. 6 points they give up against the Browns. If they could get him, add him to this, Jonathan Abram in the secondary, these guys are going to start playing great defense. Offense is already there. We just need one more piece to get over the hump. Scott, tell me there's a chance. I can start a GoFundMe, whatever I got to do to find the cash. Can we make this happen?
David, I'm telling you, you got a chance here. Now, again, let's talk about the cap implications. Right now, the Raiders have $6 million of cap space, and Stephon Gilmore is due an additional $6.9 million this season with the balance of the next 9 weeks in salary. So they only need to get $900,000 of cap space. Not a big deal at all. But this is interesting because you've got a corner that's one of the elite corners in the National Football League. The Patriots love him, but he's 30 years old. And now you've got to think about, what are the Patriots thinking? How are they viewing the rest of the season? Do they start thinking about making trades now in order to build up some draft capital to have more picks for next year? Are they thinking about this season only, or are they thinking about this season and the future? So, interesting choice, and I kind of like the idea a little bit right there, David.
Haven't they won enough, Willie and Scott? I think you guys have you've had enough. Let's just share. That's great.
All right, Scotty P, you keep talking about sell, sell, sell. What about buying? Let's stay in New England. They need a receiver. Edelman is out, okay? N'Keal Harry, Myers, he's coming along. How about Michael Thomas from the New Orleans Saints goes to New England? You know about these big type of trades they had. Remember Reggie Wayne went there? Remember Chad Johnson? Remember a guy by the name of Corey Dillon and Randy Moss? Okay, now, where there's smoke, there's fire. He was benched week 5. Michael Thomas, that is, has not played in the last couple of weeks. From what I'm hearing, he's not a great teammate. He hasn't been good in the locker room. He's not getting along. And why is he not on the football field? Now, if the Saints can get what they want, and I'm just throwing it out there, I'm not even going to say a first round. I'm going to say maybe a 2 and a 3, and somebody takes on that contract, Scotty P, can we move one of the big-time receivers in the league, one of the best in the last 5 years, to New England and make it work? You've done it before, and you got to do it again.
Yeah, Willie, this one's easy, Willie, because right now the Patriots have $22 million of cap space this season. And right now, Michael Thomas has got a base salary of $1 million. So the prorated amount of money that he has left and due to him is only $530,000. So they can take on that contract. But here's the big thing, Willie. You mentioned the idea of what kind of locker room guy he is. Now, the Patriots don't have a guy like you around anymore, or Mike Vrabel, that, you know, are kind of the enforcers, or Rodney Harrison. So they may need, you know, to understand what their culture is and if this is a problem or not. The other thing is this. The Patriots need draft capital, right? You talk about a second and a third. Well, they're not giving up a first, but we're thinking about 2021 and who is the quarterback of the future and how much draft capital do they need
Don't kill my dream,
to get
Scott.
to the person that's going to be their quarterback in 2021.
Don't kill the receiver, Willie. Don't kill the trade, Scott. Make it happen.
All right, I'm going to put on my biggest smile here because this is what I try to do with my husband. You guys keep talking about budget. I don't want to think about budget for a second here, Scott, because I'm trying to help out the San Francisco 49ers, who have lost one of their best receivers in George Kittle now with that injury potentially for the rest of the season. What about a little reunion for Kyle Shanahan? What about Julio Jones to San Francisco? I know, it's a big-ticket item. Is my bougie showing?
Cali?
Scott, tell me that this could
You
work.
know what? MJ, I think I got your husband in my ear. I lost you because he's talking about budget right now. This might be a real big problem you got right now. No, this is a tough one. Even though the 49ers picked up some cap space, say, when they traded Quan Alexander, they still are $1.4 million short of being able to take on the contract of Julio Jones, because Julio's making a lot of dough this year. He still owed $5.9 million over the rest of the course of this season. Now, the other thing is the flip side. If the Falcons trade Julio Jones, they're sitting there for the 2021 season with $23 million of dead cap space. So, looking at the Falcons, that doesn't look too attractive, but also if you're the 49ers, do you want to take on a 31-year-old receiver who is really at the top of his game, but also has a lot of durability issues? So you need to think about next year's cap and next year's cap